You know, honestly, I might lose a few friends, a few fans of the channel because this is this is such a wild list. So first I want to say what's poppin' YouTube, what's going on. It's Q. I'm about to go out on a limb. I'm about to do something extremely wild. I'm about to give y'all my top 5 movies of all time. I just want to go ahead and say my top 5 list is so untraditional, super cliche if you know me, which a lot of y'all might not really know me like that. It's tough. This is a tough conversation, but I feel like this is what y'all need to connect with me via this channel. And I also think that this is a really cool way to learn a bit about me and kind of see where this channel is going as well. So let's just get into it, man. I can't believe this is about to happen. Okay. Whew. My top 5. If you didn't know, number one movie of all time, The Lion King. It's the greatest movie ever. Everyone knows what The Lion King is, so I don't even have to get into all of that. I just feel like it's the greatest movie of all time because not only did it do something by being animated, integrating music and animation and storytelling and the relevance of real life that goes into that movie, is just one of the greatest things that has ever come out in humanity. If you have not seen The Lion King, 1994, stop watching this. Go watch it right now. Okay, my number two. It's one of those things where I feel comfortable saying my number two. My number 2 favorite movie of all time is Django Unchained, Quentin Tarantino's 2012 offering starring Jamie Foxx. One of my favorites because not only does it give us a different piece of history, it also taps into really great action sequences, really great soundtrack, really good visuals. It was one of the first times as an adult I was able to see the visual aspect of a film, and I was just like, wow, the way it's shot is amazing. So that's why that's my number 2. It was the first time I was able to see Jamie Foxx truly act, and so not to discount Ray or any of his other films, but it was the first time I saw Jamie Foxx step outside of the impersonator and comedian type of roles that he usually gets casted for, and he was able to offer something that was just incredible to not only the culture but just film itself. I think that entire crew deserved Oscars. My number 3, pretty safe, Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Episode 5, the sequel to A New Hope. It's just great. Fantasy, sci-fi, whatever you classify Star Wars. It's one of the greatest movies ever, but also in that franchise, I'm sorry, there's not one better, and I am willing to debate that. Who has time? I have time to debate that. So Empire Strikes Back, it also gives you one of the most incredible villains that we've ever seen, and I think it created the peak, or it created the representation of what a villain is supposed to be. And I think that with George Lucas doing that at such an early time of where we were getting these franchises, I thought it was so cool. I wasn't alive to see it in the theaters, but I remember seeing it for the first time when I was 7 years old, and I was like, yo, this is really good. And so it's my favorite Star Wars, and then it's also my 3rd favorite movie of all time. So number 4, I think it's a nostalgic thing, but it's also arguably one of the best superhero movies of all time, and that's The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight, the sequel to Batman Begins. It's just so good. As a movie reviewer, it's so tough to communicate how good this movie is on different levels of cinematography, audio, acting, tone. The movie is just so good. I think it came out at such an appropriate time, and it kind of shifted how we received serious superhero movies. I think that it was just such a good movie, and it kind of introduced me to Christopher Nolan's work, and also just understanding that Batman was more than just a superhero. He was a man as well, and it kind of brought things back into perspective. It was such a good movie. If you haven't seen Dark Knight, definitely check that out. So then, my number 5. It's my favorite comedy, and it's the 40-year-old version starring Steve Carell. It's so good. It kind of peaked, or it kind of created the way I interpret comedy as well. It's just so raunchy. It's very awkward. It has an incredible pace in the movie, and I think that is such a dope comedy. I think that once you go and watch it and look look at all of the stars that are in there, you're like, wow, that's amazing that that person was in there, and like they're taking such a small role, and look at them now. And so I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen the 40-year-old version, but it's such a great movie and you should check it out if you get a chance and if you're old enough. That's my top 5. I want to know your top 5. Comment below in the comment section. Tell me, what's your top 5 movies of all time? Tell me why I'm crazy and why I put The Lion King or Django or Dark Knight in my top 5. But also let me know what you feel about like those movies as well, and let's talk about it. And then tell me if you hate my top 5. Like, subscribe, share the video, let me know your thoughts. It's really good talking to you all. This is episode 6 of QReviews. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys later. Peace.